everybody, Skylar here. Today we have a simple video. We're basically going to go back in the forest and we're going to build a fire. I'm not going to use any special tools, I'm not going to use any special methods, just with a barbecue lighter and my bare hands basically, just to kind of show that, yeah, anybody can build a fire. Alright, so first we're going to need our fire starter. Kind of in this area, the best thing by far is birch bark. We found a nice kind of dead one here. We won't take too much, but just to rip a little bit of this super dry fire starter off. Just a little bit like this and that. This should basically be all we need. And yep, this is definitely more than enough fire starter. Alright, and the next kind of good fire starter is this young beech tree here. The beech trees, especially young ones, just like other deciduous trees, in the fall their leaves die, but especially with the young ones, like I was saying, they tend not to fall off until the spring when the new leaves come and the old ones get pushed off. So these have just basically been drying here all winter. It's literally like newspaper. So it just doesn't hurt the tree or anything like that. We'll break a few leaves off, add them to our birch bark for fire starter. There's lots of other things you can use for fire starter. Obviously newspaper and stuff like that works. Depends on your area. Cattail fluff, things like that. Other dry leaves, yeah, grass, things like that. Kind of depending on your area, you got to go out and find what the best fire starter is. My favorite is definitely birch bark, but these beech leaves, if you're in an area where you can't find a birch tree, also tend to work very well. So we're just gonna break off a whole bunch and add to the fire. Right, so now that we have our fire starter, we're gonna move up now to our kindling / tinder. My favorite thing ever, whenever I'm trying to start a fire out in the bush, what I try and find for kindling or tinder is this. This here, it looks like we have a white spruce tree. It's very much alive, but the bottom branches don't get sun anymore, so they're all dead, which just makes this perfect, super, super dry, tiny kindling. Yeah, it doesn't get much better than this. This is what I always look for. You can also use cedar trees, pine, balsam fir, things like that. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with like kind of the finest ones. And basically I'll just kind of break it off and make these little bundles of super fine kindling. We're keeping it simple. This is kind of just the basics on how to start a fire, but obviously if I was more prepared, I would have like an axe and everything like that, but could be a scenario if you were lost or anything like that, you need to get warm. Yeah, so I'm going to start out super, super fine, and after our fire starter has been ignited, this is what I want to catch next. You can tell it's super dry just by how easy it snaps. If it has moisture in it, obviously it'll be more bendy. So I'm basically going to make a bunch of these, and then I'm just going to work my way up in size, in thickness of branches. Then I could get this larger one here. Probably not a bad idea if I was wearing safety goggles right now, because a stick in the eye is never fun. And then yeah, once I kind of have basically a lot of bundles like this, I'm going to look for something bigger. There's lots of stuff around here. For example, I'm just going to come over here. And now here we have this poplar tree, this aspen that has fallen, and it's kind of same thing. There's obviously snow on the ground, but this has kind of been suspended, just drying here all winter. So same sort of thing. This isn't hardwood or anything like that. It's not. I'm not going to want to cook on it, or it's not going to keep me warm for a long time. It won't make super hot coals. But same kind of thing. It's a little bit bigger than that. I can basically start to make super dry. I can start to make more kindling that's a little bit bigger. And yeah, and I'm going to basically put it in order from kind of smallest to largest, and that's what I'll put on the fire. Alright, so here we have our final ingredient for the fire, if you will. This is just a little maple that has died. Like I said, I don't have a saw or an axe or anything like that, so I'm not going to process large amounts of wood, but this is, even though it's small, it's still nice hard wood, and we're just going to have a little small fire to keep warm and cook on. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to drag this back to camp, and it's nice and dry. It's like it's suspended above the snow like the others. I'm going to break it up, and this should be all we need then to have a good little fire. All right, so we pretty much have everything we need now. I've kind of arranged it from kind of our fire starter to our tinder to our kindling, and then finally to the maple I showed you, which I just broke up by hitting it over a tree. And yeah, when I was like younger, I wasn't very patient with fires, and I'd kind of light them and then run around looking for stuff to put on. But now I tend to kind of have everything lined up and ready to go. So yeah, so basically to get started, this is a good spot here. We're gonna get our fire starter and our super fine kind of tinder. And I'm gonna put it with our, yeah. It's not ideal to have it right on the snow, but just like that. So enough air. There's nothing fancy here. This is just kind of a messy method. No log cabin or teepee, anything like that. Just your fire starter with some of your tinder, super dry tinder on top. And then, like I said, I'm kind of cheating today. Nothing fancy. Just have my barbecue lighter. And yeah, I'm just gonna basically light my birch bark, which is super dry. Maybe in a couple places. Hopefully I won't have to work this fire too much. Yeah, make sure there's lots of, and the birch bark should burn, and then the super fine stuff should catch on fire. And then I'm gonna kind of be ready with my bigger stuff, whether it's more of that spruce or some of the poplar I had, put it on top. You don't want to kind of smother the fire too much, but just kind of to get that stuff ready. But it still needs lots of oxygen. Doesn't need it, but I could blow from underneath too. Be very smoky. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of slowly build it because I think it's still just that that birch bark burning. This kind of sounds like some of the wood is starting to ignite. Yeah, if it wasn't going so well, if the stuff wasn't as dry, I could always, from underneath, yeah, I could blow. Yeah, this fire's getting better and better, so I feel confident adding more. Hot. And yeah, like I said, I don't want to smother it. There's no pit or anything like that, so it's, you know, there's lots of air can get underneath and everything like that, so I'm not too worried about putting too much wood on. It's also super dry. And basically, yeah, I'm just going to keep kind of doing this until that kind of burns down, and then I guess eventually what I'll do, it's not ready for it yet, just put on my harder, my fuel source. But yeah, it's already getting warmer. In a survival situation, this is definitely a good feeling. Another thing you can do if your fuel has a little bit of snow on it is I like to I'll even just put it close to around the fire, just to kind of dry it up a little bit before I actually put it on. Try and stay out of the smoke. But I think the main thing here is just that the wood was so dry that it's, yeah, it worked well. So that should be good like that for a while. You know, not really much to do here. The snow under it will kind of melt. Not worried about the forest catching fire. We're kind of in mostly kind of a hardwood forest. Kind of the canopy's super, super high up. It's also winter. And yeah, so that's basically the basics. For now, we're gonna kind of let this burn down a little bit and then put some of the harder wood on it. And yeah. So, well, there you have it. We basically put on the a lot of the maple, kind of burned it down. We have some nice hot coals down below. Have a little bit of area there. I put some more on the side, kind of to put our pan on, and we're doing a little bit of forest cooking. I hope you liked the video. I just wanted to show you that you don't need like special bushcraft skills or tools or axes. Just if you have a lighter or a match, you can come back and have a little fire and enjoy nature. yeah, in the future I'd like to definitely do some more kind of advanced fire videos. We could get some fire steel and bow drills and stuff going. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the basic video.